very dark man of Nigeria, said that the Rattles are the fourth arm of the government. The Rattel, his movement, are the fourth arm of the government. Okay, listen, pay attention, Akebulan. You see, when very dark man made that statement, I felt sorry for journalism in Nigeria. Not to very dark man, because very dark man is actually living to the responsibility of that statement. The young man is doing his best in Nigeria. But listen, let me teach you something. You see, when you look at democracy, you look at the executive, you look at the legislature, you look at the judiciary. These people, three of them, these three arms cannot be complete without journalism. Most people don't know that journalism is known as the fourth estate of the realm. The fourth estate of the realm. Democratic society cannot function without journalism. That is why they are called the fourth estate of the realm, the watchdog of every society. Without journalists, society will crumble because they are the ones that reminds the three arms of government of their responsibility. They present the situation to the masses, to the public. That is why it is the watchdog of every society. It must be protected. You see what happened in Jazeera? Daniel Bwala. You saw the way he was made to understand the principle and the ethic of journalism. The other day, someone came on media, started telling us Rufai or saying of Nigeria is not doing well. That one of the duty of a journalist is to make your guests feel comfortable. Who told you that? Where do you get that ethic and principle from? Journalism is based on fairness and balance, on accountability, on transparency. It's not your duty to massage the feet of your guest. Your duty is to ask him questions that will reveal the truth to the society. That is your duty as a journalist. Not all this lime and juice and journalists of the national order you have in Africa, most especially in Nigeria. Exception to Rufai. How do you think Nigeria or Africa regain independence? Let's talk about Nigeria. How do you think Nigeria regain independence? It is through the media, journalists, print media, newspaper. Go and think or check West African Pirates, 22nd November, 1937. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. That's why it's called the Zik of Africa. Go and ask and know what he was doing in Ghana with Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, with Kwame Nkrumah. These were writers. That was how independence was formed. Go and check. Journalism is not to be toyed with. Look at Iwerohi, 1859. Look at Owana Efik. Look at the Lagos Dairy Record. That is 1896. The media has always been powerful. Should we talk about Delegiwa in the time of military government? Ibrahim Babangida and Mama Vasta. The saga of Glory Okon. These are people who pay with their lives, Delegiwa. They might not be righteous, but they stood for the principle of journalism. That is what that Al Jazeera man reminded you. That is the shadow of what Nigeria used to be when it comes to journalism. Everything right now has been bastardized. You must invoke that spirit of journalism. Journalism is not an easy job. A journalist is likened to a soldier with a gun. A soldier is with a gun in the battlefield. A journalist is with a pen in the battlefield. Your studio is your battlefield. Your studio is your battlefield. You allow politicians to come to the studio and talk to journalists anyhow. Look at how Daniel Bwala was made mockery of, because lie cannot thrive in such society that know the duty of a journalist. Journalism has lost what it used to be. We must go back in Africa. We must go back to that principle. Some of you read Things Fall Apart. You don't know what Things Fall Apart is all about. Things Fall Apart was a slap in the face of colonial masters because Achebe pointed the picture of what colonialism did in Africa. Go and check how you gain independence, how you regain independence. West African pirates, they were mounting pressure on the colonial government. 247, they were mounting pressure on the colonial government. Today, a politician will come to your studio, you will just laugh and they will give you a brown envelope. And you think you're the journalist. You're the shame. Big shame. Big shame. Big shame. Daniel Bwala thinks he was in Nigeria. He thinks he was in Nigeria. People that knows what journalism is have taught him what it means to be a journalist. It is prestige. Journalism is not an easy job. You have the glamorous part of it and the hazardous part of it. It's not an easy job. So before you come to that profession, make sure you have what it takes. Make sure you have what it takes. And I always say, exception to Rufai Osani. Rufai Osani of Nigeria is God that will bless you because you are reminding African journalists of what it actually means to be a journalist. We have few of them in Botswana and right here in Uganda. You are one of the few persons in Africa that we respect when it comes to journalism. Akebulan, wisdom is the principal thing. I say, journalism is the fourth estate of the realm. You must live to that responsibility because right now in your country, Nigeria, very dark man is the one living to that responsibility. People are faced with problems. They don't call police, they don't call military, they don't call government, they are calling very dark man. When days were days, do you know who people call? People call journalists for problem. Go and check. They call journalists for problem to come and solve them. Live up to your responsibility and make your country a better place. I love you, Akebulan. I love you. Daniel Bwala, shame. Shame. Cover yourself with ashes. Shame. Shame. God bless that journalist in Jazeera. He reminds us of what journalism used to be. Akebulan, wisdom. Now what? Wisdom. It's the principal thing.